Welcome. Today we're going to work on mudras. That's going to be our kind of goal, intention. So mudras are a connection, right? They can be head mudras, bandha mudras, hand mudras, body mudras. It's like a connection. Think of your body as like an electrical current, right? Mm-hmm. And so a mudra is like a connection, closing of that circuit so that we're allowing the energy to loop through, right? Okay. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're going to take our roll, our little, and we're going to take it in front of us and take one leg forward, like we're going to forward fold, but just with one leg, and we're going to take the blanket over that leg so that as we fold forward, we get a little compression back up against our body. And then you can always take, if your knee doesn't want to lay flat, you can always take a little bolster support, under your knee. And we're just going to reach for the foot, and if you can connect to the ankle or the foot, the toes even. Yep. And so this is our mudra, our connection, hand to foot. And so as we kind of hang out in this posture, we're going to just focus our thoughts on that connection. So how it feels in our fingers, what finger is connected. And as you hang out, you can allow yourself to go deeper. This posture you want to feel something in, but you don't want to be completely light, and you don't want to be straining or struggling. So you want to find that kind of in between where you're feeling something. And if you need the bigger support or bolster on top of the leg to feel something on the belly, if the torso is, if the back is tight and you want to use a bigger support on top of the leg, you can go there too. And then just refocus on that connection, hand to foot. And as you hang out with it, you might be able to take your connection deeper, right? Like pulling the foot back. But notice where your force is coming from in the body. And breathe into that. Notice where there's a desire to move coming in the body, from the body. And then notice where you can find stillness in the posture. And then allow yourself to just let go a little deeper. Even if the posture doesn't move any, just see where you can let your head, your shoulders, your jaw. And keep noticing that connection, hand to foot. And breathe into the belly, even though we have a little extra compression there. Notice where the resistance is in your body to let go, and breathe into that space, opening and softening. A few more deep breaths here. Think about the whole torso filling up with your breath. So even though maybe there's less space on the front side, think about expanding across the back side, all the way down to your hips. And the idea of hanging out with the posture for a while is to let the outer layers, the muscles, the kind of ligaments and tendons kind of fall away so that we can really get into stretching the fascia and the connective spaces. So as we come out of the posture, I don't want you to immediately think of engaging all your muscles and pushing down, but lightly, slowly starting to wake up, engage a little bit deeper, allow yourself time to press down and lift the torso up, unwinding that mudra connection, hand to foot, noticing how the foot, how the hand both feel. And then we're going to straighten out. No, we're going to keep our straight leg straight. We're going to straighten this bent leg out, and then we're going to bend it beside us for a hero, where we're going to lie back so that our hips can open up as a counterbalance. So if you want something to lean back on, you can go ahead and set that up. And then the leg that was bent is going to bend with your knee lifting towards the sky and your foot going away from you, so that you can start to find an internal rotation of this foot. And then if you want extra support underneath it, you can, because sometimes it doesn't feel nice to have your ankle on the floor like that. So just finding that internal rotation, and if it comes all the way to the ground, that's great, but the idea is to think about both hips coming to the ground. So if the knee wants to lift up a little, you can even take a support underneath, that's fine. Just finding a place for you to hang out with, and if you can feel both sit bones connect towards the ground, then think about sitting up straight. If you can feel, you can also tuck your toes under if that feels good. Yep. And then if it feels good to lean back, you can, but don't force leaning back if your hip on that bent leg is really high. So you want to find balance first, both hips able to sink. If that's not accessible, you can take a block underneath the straight leg hip so that you do have more space to play with, dropping that bent leg hip down. And then you can go back with it. So wherever you are, breathe, don't force it. If it feels like you're forcing it, or like you can't breathe fully and calmly, then back off of it a little, because you're gonna hang out with it for a while. You're gonna go deeper into it as we hang out. So find your edge, but then back off of it a little bit. And then again, notice your force, where it's coming from in your body, where you can back off the force and find a little more ease. And then we're going to find a mudra in our hands here. So you can take pointer finger and thumb together. And then we're just going to notice that connection, how the thumb feels, how the pointer finger feels, the palm and the rest of the fingers. And then kind of working your way through the body, elbows, shoulders, chest, head. Just kind of noticing where you can drop back, sink in deeper. Out, you might move your supports. We're going to hang out a few more minutes. Around our hips and our glutes. Notice if there's anything still holding on, hips, glutes, thighs. As you hang out just a little while longer, allow the whole body to sink closer to the mat. To your mudra, last few moments here, and just notice that connection, pointer finger to thumb. Dropped back. Start to squeeze your shoulders towards your ears first, just to engage the muscles around your neck and lift your head. And then elbows can start to come in closer to your body, slowly lifting your torso. From here, we're going to move into our hero on the other side before we take the forward fold again. So we'll slowly begin to straighten out our bent leg, taking your time, noticing what you feel along the way, no rush. And then we're just going to notice for a moment how it feels, what sensations are going through it. You can even place your hand over your knee that was bent and just notice any heat or sensations. Send a little love to that space and awareness. And then we'll go ahead and move into the other side, bending the opposite knee, and this side might feel different, so take what supports you need. And we'll just notice how this feels setting up first. And then you can start to move back into a reclined posture. Take your time, no rush. Take a support underneath your left hip. So whether it's the blanket or the block, yeah. So straighten that leg that's bent, straighten that one. Lean onto that leg and put something underneath the hip. This, yeah. Do it diagonal where it's like closer to your spine at the top and then kind of angles away from you, like that. Oh. And then just bloop. Yep. Yeah, do you feel a little lift on that side?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, and then try to lean onto it and get this leg bent.
Yeah, because one side is tighter.
Yeah.
Than the other.
Yeah. I could tell just the leaning back, you can see that hip lift up. Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to see than feel. Be nice to that side. Don't force it. And then we'll just notice what we can let go of as we drop back, and then when you're ready, you can come into your mudra. We'll do the same one, point your finger to thumb. notice right away around the glutes and the hips where you're holding. Let layers you can start to unwind and soften into to sink a little deeper. Notice your straight leg, and if you're holding on to it, keeping it in one position, maybe your toes fall away from you. Stay a few more moments here. Come back to your mudra and what it feels like between pointer finger and thumb. With your breath, feel that space kind of expanding or opening up, and then with your exhale, really zoom into that connection, circuit between the fingers. Breath to move down into your belly. See if that helps you soften the low back, back of the legs. More breaths right here. Visualize your breath moving in. Feel it along your throat. Feel your belly rise. Exhale, start to squeeze your shoulders to your ears so that you can start to lift your head slowly. And from here, we'll start to let our arms press down and our body straighten up so that we can take our, whatever this leg is, the other leg straight. And just feel this for a moment. Go ahead and start to roll up your blanket or support. And we're going to set up for our straight leg forward fold on the other side. So the leg that was just bent, we're going to let it bend away from us this time. And then we're going to let the body reach towards the straight leg foot. And you can take your blanket on top of that straight leg, or you can take your bolster. You can take the blanket under the knee and the bolster on top, kind of any combination of the two, but really let the bolster feel like it's supporting the low back, right? So you're like pushing it into the body so that as you lean forward, you get support in the low back and you're not straining. If it is straining, get a support under your hips so that, again, you just have more space to work on that rotation, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna start to lean forward, and then when you're ready, make that mudra connection hand to foot, just that kind of closing an energy circuit in the body, moving that energy through the body. And just notice how the fingers feel, notice how the foot feels, and then where else you can soften into the posture. Breath be full into the belly so that you feel it expanding on the back side. As we've hung out with it for a little while, notice if there's a place that you can let go deeper into, or maybe a place that needs support. Just notice what the posture has brought your awareness to. Notice if you're holding your foot straight up, and if, bless you.
Thank you.
Maybe your foot wants to fall to the side, that's okay. Just a few more breaths right here. With your exhale, start to feel the places in your body that are connected to the mat. With an inhale, we're going to start to feel lighter, lifting up out of those spaces, reaching for the ground with our arms pressing down to support your torso as you lift up. We're just going to straighten out both legs and take out any supports from underneath us. We're eventually going to lean back, so make sure there's nothing behind you. Actually, we are going to use our rolled up blanket. maybe a block. That so you can see. Okay, so we're gonna take our our blanket long ways so that it's gonna go under our spine eventually, and maybe a block for under our head so you can let that be placed there. And so we'll just bend our knees so that your hips can move down, and then blanket is gonna set up under the spine. And you're just gonna allow yourself to lean back on the blanket. Maybe you lift your hips up and let your hips either hang off of the end of the blanket, or maybe you want some support under your hips. Just notice what your body needs today. It shouldn't feel like a whole lot, but it should feel like something. If your head is hanging off the blanket and that feels good, just to let your neck feel supported on the blanket, that's okay. But if any of that gets uncomfortable, you can take a block under the head and let your head feel completely supported. But the idea is to let the spine feel supported, and the shoulders to kind of drop back towards the ground, the hips to drop back towards the ground. Knees can stay bent if this is a lot on the low back. And we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna take a ring finger, no wait, that's middle finger. Middle finger to thumb here. And you can bring the hands closer to the center of the body for less intensity. Still thinking about shoulders dropping down. If you want to increase kind of the external rotation and intensity of this posture around the upper spine, you can let your arms either come down beside your body, palms facing up, or you can start to bend your elbows towards cactus arms or goalpost, or any kind of external bend anywhere along the way that feels good. And we're just going to keep sinking in. You can always adjust if there's a spot in your body that needs support along the way. There's no wrong space to be in, as long as it's a place you can hang out with and explore for a little while. With a full breath. Once you feel your body start to settle in, bring your awareness back into that mudra, thumb to middle finger. Noticing how the other fingers feel around it. Visualize energy swirling between that connection, thumb to middle finger. Still holding on to that you can soften right here. here, we're just going to roll to one side nice and slow so that you can move the blanket out from under your spine and then roll back onto a neutral spine, flat on your mat. And if it's comfortable, let your head come all the way to the ground. Go ahead and straighten out. Just notice how this feels for a moment. Take your time, but let your knees start to bend so that you can bring your knees towards your chest and grab onto your knees with your hands. And we're just going to hang out right here, sinking our legs towards our body. You don't have to start close. You can take your time, let your arms really reach long, and then slowly let your legs sink closer to you. Take your time here, just noticing what you feel along the way, and any places at the front or the back side of the hips that are really resisting, not rushing past any place along the way. And if your hands come to meet each other, interlace your fingers or feel your fingertips touch on opposite hands and honor that connection, that mudra. Just going to sink in here and let our knees keep coming closer and closer to the body. Feel your breath expand down and create compression around the lower abdomen. Feel your breath along the back side of the body. Every exhale, let your legs feel a little heavier and sink deeper. Breaths. And long. Go ahead and reach your arms overhead to the wall behind you and let your palms face up to the sky, and let your elbows bend if it's comfortable, but think about the tops of your arms, tops of your shoulders. all reaching to the mat or the ground. Spine and feel a slight pressing down of the spine towards the mat. See if you can kind of encourage the connection body to ground, even if it takes some effort, some force pressing down through the spine. Noticing what places are lifted or reaching away from the ground. Moments here as you breathe in, feel your connection to the ground increase. And as you exhale, find a balance between force and letting go. Still keeping that connection to the ground. Exhale, start to bend the elbows so that your hands come back towards your body, and you're going to bend your knees so your feet come to the ground. Bring your arms in beside the body and just let your arms straighten out so that your fingers can get all that good circulation moving back through. Eventually going to come off of our mat, so rolling to one side so that you can sit up, and then we're going to come into a thread the needle, so you're going to come all the way forward onto all fours. And you can always take extra support under your knees if you want extra cushion under the knees, but we're going to let one arm reach under the other so that our ear and shoulder can come towards the ground. And if that seems like a long place to go, you can bring a blanket or bolster underneath you, but you're just gonna start to take ear and shoulder towards the ground, and then notice where your weight shifts in your knees and try to bring the weight evenly back into both knees. So you might have to push down into one, and notice how that kind of readjusts the hips, and then feel the hips drawing back. So you get a little tug and resistance. And then notice where you're compressing around the shoulder, where you can soften into that. So let go a little deeper. Make sure the neck feels good, but visualize space opening up between the ear and the shoulder of the side that's on the ground. So even though you're compressing towards it, make sure that it's feeling a stretch and opening, not just a squeeze. And then if you want to take your supportive arm, you can leave it in front of you or stretch it out or take it behind. Whatever option feels good for your body today. And if your spine feels good and you want to take the opposite leg, so it would be your left leg. If you want to take it out to the side, you can. Just make sure your hips feel good with that rotation it's going to create, so your
weight goes more onto that rooted shoulder. Yes. So it's going to rotate the hips more than if both knees are on the ground. So make sure that feels good. And then we're just going to hang out with it. A few more moments. The shoulders are a lot smaller joint than the hips, so luckily we can help them more with a little less intensity, right? So we don't have to stay there as long. So just a few more breaths, moving the breath down into the belly. Soften around your jaw and your throat. To come out of the posture, we're going to let that top arm unwind so that it can support us. We're going to press into that top arm and bring the other knee in. Slowly you're going to lift yourself up to all fours so that you can move any supports out from underneath you, and then we're just going to lie flat on the belly for a moment as a little mini shavasana before we do the other side. And you can always take a support underneath you if you want to, but otherwise try taking the opposite ear to the mat and let your arms reach down beside you. Move into the other side of our thread the needle by coming into all fours first. So hands slowly slide under the shoulders and lift the body so that you can bring the hips on top of the knees. And then we'll set up for our thread the needle in the other direction. So if you want your support under, and then arm is going to thread. And this side might feel different. To get your alignment and get set up in the posture, go ahead and bring both knees underneath your hips and press into them evenly so that you can feel your weight balance over the two. And then feel the hips pull back so you feel long in the spine. Even though we're rotating, we still want to feel space. Take your opposite foot out beside you if it feels good to create more rotation in the spine. And that rooted hand can go behind you as well. Let's go ahead and create our mudra here. Thumb to, what is that? Your ring finger. And just hang out with it. That space growing long on the side of the mat, or the side of the neck that is closest to the mat. Exhale everything. A few more breaths. Begin to unwind by taking that top arm down and bringing the other knee in. And we're going to bring ourselves back onto our belly. Let your arms reach down beside you. From here, we'll keep our head facing towards the front of the room, but go ahead and turn over onto your back here. Go ahead and bend the knees so that your feet are on the ground, and then we'll bring the feet in towards each other. And we'll start to let the knees move away from each other. For Supta Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet can start to come together for a body mudra. Think of that energetic connection, foot to foot. You can hang out here and just let the knees fall. If it gets really intense or you feel like you need some support here, always take the blankets or bolsters where you need them. Hands can stay close to the center of the body. Let's find our final hand mudra, thumb to pinky finger. And just notice these connections in the body and how they make you feel. Notice if your energy has shifted as we've hung out here. Where are you putting force into the posture, and where can you soften or draw in balance? Breathe down into the bottom of the lungs. Feel your belly button.
the arms first to reach the legs for support. Arms are going to help push the knees back in towards each other. There's absolutely no rush, and you can even kind of walk the feet out and get the feet planted on the bottom of the ground, or the bottom of the feet planted on the ground, so that you can kind of use that to walk the knees back towards hips with distance, and then straightening out the legs. Eventually, toes can kind of hang away from the center line. Palms can reach down beside the body and turn up to face the sky. Maybe even swaying a little side to side, getting shoulders or glutes kind of situated, tucked under you, so that you can feel your heart center, shoulders nice and open, hips feel supported, knees can even bend a little. Let your feet feel heavy. Let your eyes close down. And right here we practice stillness in the body. And noticing the breath. Notice where your thoughts have drifted and come back to the quality of your breath. Slowly begin to move on to one side of the body. So you can bend your knees and
take an arm under the head to support you. We'll just sink into this side for a moment. Place one hand to the ground in front of your heart and just honor the space that supports you and all the lessons and teachers around us. We're going to use that support to press down and slowly lift the body up towards seated, facing forward. And then we'll bring palms together, honoring your presence in your practice, and then bring your thumbs closer to your heart, honoring your intention, what brought you to your practice. And let your forehead bow, honoring intuition, your all-knowing center, and honoring this space we practiced in together. We say Namaste. Thank you for joining. Oh, me.